Hello everyone and welcome back to Matchbox Memories. Today we're going to have a look at the Mix 3 of Matchbox Collectors series. I've found 3 of the 4 cars. It's incredible when it's a 4-car set and there's not enough product to get a complete set. Anyways, I got 3 of the cars. The one that I am missing is the red BMW. And then we'll also look at a couple of, I guess these are 8-packs now, from 2024 Matchbox 8-packs. One has the Nissan Sentra as an exclusive, and the other one has the orange Audi RS6 wagon. As well as look at that Matchbox 5-pack with all Porsches. I think 4 of the 5 cars are repeats, so we will open that. And then finally I found that Matchbox moving parts vehicle that I was missing from the last video I did. So we'll open that and have a look at that as well. So that's just a quick summary of what we're gonna open and look at today. Without any further ado, let's have a look at these collectors vehicles. Okay, so I guess I should say that of the 4 vehicles, 3 of the vehicles are brand new castings. The first brand new casting is the one I don't have, the BMW in red. This Honda Accord is a new casting, as is the 1959 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. So the only repeat casting is this 2020 Ram Rebel, which we have seen a few times certainly in the moving parts series and maybe even in the collector's series in previous years. So this is a recolor with the fantastic New York Police Department livery. And I think I want to start by looking at this 1959 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. These are really hard to find in Vancouver. There's the packaging, so nothing we haven't seen before. This is number 12 of 20, and there's the back. Unfortunately, they don't show all the vehicles that are in the series. It'd be lovely to see all 20 vehicles at the back so you know which ones you don't have, but for whatever reason Matchbox doesn't put that on there. All right, let's open this up. This is number 12 of 20. I'm excited to open it and have a look at it. All right, what's inside the package? As always, it comes in this plastic inclusion that protects the car quite well. I have to say I've never found a collector's vehicle that's been damaged, the physical car being damaged out of the package. So there's a thumbs up for Matchbox on that. But before we look at the car, let's have a quick look at the box. I'm not going to look at all the boxes, but just in case there's anyone that hasn't seen these boxes before, there it is. So a bit of a tribute to the old school Matchbox vehicles. Quite nice, good livery, nice printing. Okay, the vehicle itself. So look at the back first. The 1959 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. It's got opening part, or a moving part I should say, which is the door, left-hand drive, white interior. This is just gorgeous. Look at that. Very nice. Doors open well. Easy to open. Look at the detailing in the back. Beautiful. Chrome base, it's not metal. Sometimes there are metal bases on some of these collectors vehicles. Unfortunately, this one is not one of them. But nevertheless, just a fantastic vehicle. Very good addition to the lineup. New casting for 2025. Beautiful. Just one last look at it. Yeah, that is gorgeous. All right, next let's have a look at this NYPD vehicle, the 2020 Ram Rebel. Number 15 of 20. Let's open this up and take a look at it. It's very nice. So typical NYPD livery. I've seen lots of different NYPD vehicles from the Matchbox lines in previous years. It's got nothing in the bed. It should have a moving part from what I remember. Yeah, the hood does open up. as was the case with the moving parts vehicle. So exactly the same casting, just NYPD livery. I love it. I think it's a good set of tires. Not 100% sure about the rims. They're okay. Got fully detailed. Beautiful. Let's have a look at the front here. So a lot of people online were critical of this NYPD police sign. Doesn't look quite straight. Look at that, looks like a bit of an angle. I can understand why some people didn't like it. I'm not sure it was necessary in this case. But there it is. Beautiful little casting. Yeah, that's really nice. And I didn't find any of my other, actually I know where they are, I just couldn't, it would take me too long to pull them out on my Matchbox NYPD vehicles because they're in different sections of my collection. But these are two other NYPD vehicles that I recently acquired that we haven't seen before. This one is a real toy made in China, Ford Crown Victoria. It's got a decent amount of weight to it. Definitely play worn, but nice little addition. It's going to look great with my other NYPD vehicles. And this one here was on sale. It's a green light vehicle, also made in China, 2022 Ford Mustang, made under license. And there it is. Really, really nice. Good weight to it. Metal base. All the bells and whistles. Even though I don't have the BMW, all my friends that are collectors tell me that this is the hardest vehicle to find in this set. The 1990 Honda Accord CB. I was very fortunate to find it. It was hidden. I think somebody else had hidden this. And I saw the edge of the packaging on the shelves at Walmart. And to my surprise, it was the Honda Accord. So still missing the BMW, but very, very appreciative to have this particular vehicle in my collection, and I'm so excited to open it up. So without any further ado, let's have a look at this vehicle. All right, so let's see what all this hype is really about. Okay. Detailed side. Paint's not quite as sharp as it probably should be. Look at that. A few imperfections there. Not sure what that black piece is. Oh, it's just another piece of extra paint. Decent front. Does look fairly similar to the actual car. It's got all the trim done. Detailed back with a detailed license plate, which is phenomenal. Beautiful car. Decent set of tires. Not a huge fan of the color of the rims. Plastic base, 1990 Honda Accord CB. It's quite nice. I think it's a bit of a boring color, but I know for sure that they made it in this color. So hopefully future iterations of this vehicle will come in fanciest color schemes. But great introductory model. Bit disappointed with the paintwork there. Look at that. That just shouldn't happen. But still, decent car, and appreciative that I found it. All right, next I want to have a look at the moving parts vehicle, which I couldn't find. I found all the other vehicles, and then I was at Walmart last week, and of course they had a full and complete set. So I was able to find a 1990 Ford F-150 SVT Lightning, also a new casting, and unlike the Collectors series, the moving parts series actually says new for 2025. So collectors do know that this is in fact a new casting to the Matchbox lineup. So let's open this up and have a look at it. Another absolutely fantastic vehicle. Look at the back. 1994 Ford F-150 SVT Lightning, made in Thailand, chrome base, plastic tires. Look at that, side livery, It says F-150 and then lightning in blue there. Fully detailed front and detail back as well. Gorgeous. Oh, 2 moving parts as well. Look at that. The bed opens. And then we have a hood that opens and it's fully detailed inside. Absolutely gorgeous. I think in my last video I declared that mix 7 of the 2025 moving parts was probably the best mix that I have seen, and that was without even having this vehicle in hand. And I think I'm going to double down on that and definitely call it the best mix that Matchbox has done to date. Absolutely fantastic. All the vehicles are amazing, and I hope they continue to make vehicles of this quality and caliber. Although I have to say the Ford Focus did have damage paint, so a bit disappointed on some of the quality, but in general, beautiful set of vehicles. Gorgeous. Love this vehicle, love this casting, love the fact that it has 2 moving parts. Gorgeous. All right, next I want to open this Porsche set. So this is it's called Porsche Heroes. The first 4 cars are all repeats, so I don't want to spend any time looking at them. We've seen them all before. I did look at a posting on Instagram, and apparently the first 4 cars are almost identical to their predecessors, so I don't want to spend too much time looking at them. And then this, we've seen this before as well, but apparently there's been a casting change. This one has got, I think, a metal spoiler, so it's different from the original casting. Anyways, I don't have it, so we can't compare it, but let's just have a look at that GT3 and then have a look at the other GT3s that I have in my collection. Alright guys, I'm just going to glance over the first 4 cars because we have seen them before. They're all main lines that have been in the lineup for a while. That's a Porsche 911 Carrera Cabrio. Black interior, fully detailed front, back. Decent vehicle. Next we have the Porsche 918 Spider. Beautiful. I love this vehicle. I think this color is gorgeous. Really pops. This one's from a couple of years ago. I remember I found it in Portland and I was so excited because I thought it was just the bee's knees. But here we have it in the 5-pack. Got a few different versions of the same version, but a few different open die-cast vehicles of this now, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Another one we've seen a few times, including the Porsche set from last year or the year before. This is an older casting. It's the VW Porsche 914 1971. Still quite a nice casting. And this is the old one that they brought back. Chrome interior, black base, no details in the front. It's got side livery and nothing in the back as well. Porsche Targa, we just saw that in red in the main line. So this I think is the original version in blue. Definitely seen this before. Detail back. No side livery, but detailed front as well. Quite nice. Alright, the vehicle that I bought this 5-pack for, the Porsche 911 GT3 from 2007. Matchbox has done this identical livery on a previous Porsche, but from what I understand, the original one had a plastic spoiler here. So this one is, it's metal, it's a part of the body. And look at that, fully detailed front, including the grille and emblem. Side livery, the GT3, very stylish, and then sadly the back's not detailed. But 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Looks like it's got a roll cage. Does it have a roll cage? Can't really see in there. Maybe not. Might have a roll cage. You'll have to look at it in better light. But there it is. And then I want to have a look at some of the other GT3s that Matchbox has done. Alright, so I wasn't kidding when I said I have a few different versions of them. I will quickly go through some of them with you. That's the one we just looked at. Just opened this in my last video. This is a Target Red Edition from 2025. Very, very difficult to find. Can be quite pricey. I actually got a deal on it because unknowingly I bought it, but this wheel was jammed into the wheel well. But I managed to pop it open and absolutely no damage. Rolls perfectly. Beautiful vehicle. Look at that. Hard one to find as it's only found in Target. And they go as quickly as they appear. This one's an older Porsche. You can see with the manufacturing date, it's letter E, week 16. So from quite a few years ago, and just want to mention that this one's been brought back into Matchbox's lineup. This is a 2024 8-pack, and look at that exact car. So once we open this, which we'll do later in this video, we will compare that to the original version, which is probably, you know, going back 10 years now. Mainline, I think it's a mainline, I'm not 100% sure. I can't actually remember where I picked it up, and it doesn't have a manufacturing date stamped on there, but still beautiful vehicle. And another one that's been brought back in these 8-packs from 2024. Those are the two 8-packs we're going to open up next. Same vehicle. This one, as you can see, has some play where the axle is rusty, so definitely need to find a cleaner version. But other than the rusty axle, I have to say this is very clean. So light gray, dark gray, and then these two here are really old, and the reason I know that is because they are the original casting with the plastic spoiler. So remember when I said this originally came with the plastic spoiler? Exactly this vehicle, exactly this livery. I think it's the same set of wheels, but it was in this casting. So the plastic spoiler is how it looked when it first came out. This one's really, really difficult to find. Mainline. Fortunately, the front's not detailed, nor is the back, but really difficult one to find. I've only ever seen this for sale once on auction. I picked it up and I got it for a decent price. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but hard one to find that. Okay, this is the white version. So we did see this come out in the mainline a couple of years ago as well, but if you pay close attention, once again, this is a plastic spoiler. The new version has a metal spoiler, so it's part of the body. And I do actually have that. I wheel swapped it, so ignore the wheels. This was a mainline when I first got it. But look at that, metal spoiler. And then this green one is from, I think maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It was from the Matchbox Porsche set. I think it was a set of 5 or 6 vehicles. This one by far was the priciest and hardest to find. Beautiful vehicle. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic color. And then these two red versions, identical vehicles, just from 2 different manufacturing years. They're about 3 years apart. I have in my collection as variations just because they're a few years apart. But anyways, that's my Porsche 911 GT3 Matchbox collection. There are so many more that I still have to add, but it is definitely chugging along. Alright, so I didn't buy these 8-packs when they first came out because they were very, very expensive. They were about 20 Canadian dollars. And since I had all of these vehicles except for the exclusive, I made a conscious decision not to purchase these because I felt like you're spending too much money for an exclusive. But the other day online, I did find these for $7 US a piece, shipping in, and I succumbed to purchasing a few of them. So anyways, I'm glad to have them. I think $7 is a decent price. It was 7 US, so about 10 Canadian. Even though I have the other cars, and hopefully there'll be a kid somewhere out there that'll enjoy these vehicles, because I have almost all of them already in my collection. The only one I'm curious about is this Porsche. I want to see if it's the same as the other 911 we just looked at. So anyways, there's the packaging. See, the Sentra is highlighted on the package. It is the exclusive. There's the back of it. Nothing exciting here. These 8 packs used to be 9 packs. You can see this as a 2024 Mattel license. So I'm not sure if this is from 2024 or 2023, but regardless, we've never seen this Sentra before, and I'm excited to open it up and look at that vehicle. All right, so I've opened that up. We're gonna have a quick look at these vehicles. I'm not gonna spend too much time on them. Let's start off, I think this is a Jeep Sewilly. Just a quick look at it. I've seen it a few times. I definitely have a few different colors of this particular vehicle. Of course, it doesn't give the name on here. Maybe it isn't a Jeep Willys. Might be a fantasy casting. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, there it is. Not one that I'm super excited about or that I collect. Of course, I need both hands to get these cars out. All right, Tesla. Once again, beautiful casting. I absolutely love it. I do already have it in my collection. Fully detailed front, back. Tesla Roadster in this black, matte black. It's really, really nice. Not going to spend too much time on these, as I said. Okay, I'm going to pull all the other vehicles out except for the Porsche and the Sentra, and we'll have a look at them really, really quickly. All right, so let's quickly look at the rest of these vehicles. Next up is this Ford Police Interceptor, which we have definitely seen before as well. Front and back are not detailed. Side livery. Kind of want to pull the Interceptor I have to compare it. Okay, I'm going to do that. Give me 1 second. As you guys know, I don't mess around with the police cars. I want to make sure that the variations, if there is a variation, I know about it. So there's the original version. I'm just going to create a bit of space there. Let's have a quick comparison and see if there is any variation. So same tires. Livery looks identical. The police siren is of exact color and shape. Fronts are both identical. This one's got some scratches on it. This is the one we just opened. Paint job's not the greatest. And the, yeah, exactly the same. As you can see, back's the same, front the same, all the same livery. And let's just turn it over and have a look at the underside. And of course, there is a slight difference there in the color of the plastic. I'm not sure if you can see it. One is lighter than the other. But other than that, they look identical to me. Not sure if I'm going to add this as a variation to my collection or if I'm going to keep it. Very, very similar, but definitely slight difference there. All right, next we have the Cadillac CTV5 or CT5V black wing in this beautiful blue. We've also seen this in the main line. Not sure where my open version of this is, but I did open this Super Chase last week. There's the original version in red from a few years ago. And of course, the Super Chase version, which I opened in my last video, is right there. In case you missed that, guys, there are the 3 versions of this vehicle that Matchbox has produced. They're absolutely gorgeous. And let's have a closer look at the Super Chase. CT5 SC with designated Super Chase. Beautiful set of tires and rims. Detailed front, grille, lights, emblems, signals, the works, and then a detailed back as well. Beautiful vehicle. I found one on the peg. I bought one for $20 Canadian, which I thought was a good deal. I'm surprised they're not worth more. Doesn't seem to be that popular in the secondary market. Anyways, I'm happy to collect them. I love this vehicle. I think it's a fantastic casting, and I'm glad to add it to my collection. All right, last two vehicles from this 5-pack. This is a backhoe, I think. Yeah, MBX backhoe. Not a licensed vehicle. It does have the moving part, which is the hoe itself. Nothing for me, but... And then this is a casting we've seen a few times as well. We've seen it in a few different versions now. This one's quite nice. I never found the Super Chase of this vehicle. There's an orange Super Chase version of this Opel Kadett Coupe. I wouldn't think it's super popular, but I've never seen one in real life. Not at a toy show, never on the pegs. And it's never come up at auction where the price was decent. I'm not sure what they go for on eBay, but that's one I'm definitely looking to add to my collection. All right, so going back to the 8-pack, let's have a look at this Porsche and compare it to the old version of this vehicle. So this one is the Porsche 911 GT3 from 2007, which Matchbox just brought back to life. There is the vehicle. And then I have the original version, which you can see the manufacturing date is what does it say there? Definitely does have the letter E there. Or is it F? But anyways, at least 10 years old. Let's do a quick comparison. Colors look identical to the naked eyes. Similar rims. Oh, look at that. There is a difference. I did find it. This one has a plastic spoiler. I didn't notice that when I was doing the previous review on the 911 GT3s. This has the metal spoiler. So completely different mold and casting. Amazing. I love it when I find a variation like that. Plastic on the left and full metal on the right. Beautiful. And then just a quick look at the back. Quite similar as well. Okay, perfect. Very, very happy to notice the difference. Look at that. So subtle. And if I blink my eyes, I wouldn't have noticed that. All right, finally, the Nissan Sentra from a few years ago in this gray Spectra Flame, not Spectra Flame, but Metal Flake gray. It's got a bit of, you see that there in the paint. Detailed front and detailed back. Black base 2016 Nissan Sentra. Left-hand drive. So there's been 4 versions of this car to date. Let me just get the other vehicles and we'll have a look at them. There they are. Those are the 4 versions that have come out. I think the blue version was the first version. And the only difference between the 2 blue versions is that there is a wheel variation. Rumor has it that that was the original wheel. The factory ran out of this type of wheel. And they made some vehicles with that type of wheel. I don't know the names of the wheels well enough to tell you what the different wheels are. But there they are, the 4 versions. And this is the latest version in red or in maroon. It's quite nice. I still see these on the peg. I'm surprised that these haven't sold out. It's a fantastic little casting. It's JDM. There's no reason why these should still be in the peg a couple of years after they were first released. Alright, promise I'm going to be a lot quicker with this 8-pack. The last one took a while. So anyways, another 8-pack. This one's got the Audi RS6 wagon as the exclusive vehicle. I love this casting and I'm a big collector of it. I still don't have all the versions. Another Porsche that we can look at and compare to the previous one I looked at. Okay, so let's have a quick unboxing of this and we'll have a look at some of these vehicles. Alright, this video is already over 30 minutes, so just a quick look at all the vehicles and then I will quickly look at them out of the packaging. Alright, there are the 8 vehicles. I'm just going to be very, very good. First vehicle is a Ford Fiesta 1983. Seen this is the second color. We also saw it in red. Next is a bus. It's a fantasy bus. I'm not sure what the name of it is off the top of my head. It's got a metal base. It's called Swift Shuttle. This one looks like an airport shuttle. Beautiful design. Although it's a fantasy vehicle, it's just really, really nice. Love that bus. Jeep Gladiator 2020. Seen this in a few different liveries. Sadly, they didn't change the color. It's exactly the same as the previous version we saw. 1960 Chevy El Camino. Beautiful vehicle, but once again a repeat, so not super interested in that. Then we have this Mercedes, which is also from the main line. This particular case didn't come to Vancouver, or very few of them, so not a lot of people have this vehicle here, but it's quite nice there. Look at that. I've also seen it in white. That is beautiful. All right. And Ford Police Interceptor 2016, so this is the older version. We have the newer version as well now. Also repeat, so don't want to spend too much time on that. Comparison of the two Porsches. They look identical to me. That's the one I just unboxed. Yeah, they look absolutely identical. Lights are a little bit different actually, look at that. Lights are slightly different. Oh, look at that. I find a lot of these Porsches come with the wheel shoved into the wheel well. That's probably the 4th one I've seen with that exact problem. So I'm not sure what happens there, but it seems to be consistent with this casting. Consistent issue with this casting, I should say. Yeah, number plates are identical. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, both have metal spoilers. So yeah, no difference between the two. They're identical. All right, the Audi RS6 Avant. So from 2004 in orange. This is the exclusive vehicle. It is a hard one to find. Look at that, fully detailed, absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Good set of tires, black base, black interior, left-hand drive. Bit of a scuff, unfortunately, on the windshield. All right, I don't have enough time to look at all the individual Audi RS6s that I have in my collection, but there are some of them. I know I'm still missing probably 5 of them. There's a couple from multi-packs that I know that I'm missing for sure, as well as some of the older versions of this. I'd have to say this red one is a difficult one to find. I can see just off the top there that the version I have is player worn and does have a little chip on the window. I hope I have another version in the package somewhere that I can replace that with. But there they are, guys, and there is my latest addition to my Audi collection, which I am thrilled to expand. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a little longer than I anticipated it would be. I do have other vehicles, other new Matchbox vehicles that I'm going to do videos on very soon. I do appreciate your support, and if you haven't already liked this video, please do so on YouTube, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.